Oh,
nice haircut, Mo.
Here we go. Stop talking about haircuts because we're talking about NFL and free agents and the Packers and a little bit of the Vikings 1-year plan. This year is insignificant, but next year is when it all comes together for the Vikings. We can feel it because that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. Vikings. We welcome in Viking Moe to the Hafeman Bros show. How are you, Viking Moe?
I'm good. I'm pretty good. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me. It's good to see your faces. And I think you guys maybe could have chosen different sweatshirts, but otherwise it's really good to see you.
Oh,
you're like matching. It's like I didn't get the memo or something.
Do you have a Packers? Do you have a Packers
of course
anything?
Not. No.
Nothing?
No.
Zero? Not even when you lost the bet? Like one of the times where they said, you know, if the Packers beat the Vikings all those times in college, where is that bet? Didn't you have to wear like a Packers thing anytime when you lost the bet?
No. Yeah. I mean, I made bets, but I guess that wasn't ever a bet that I lost. I remember some statesman guys I've seen wearing dresses the next day, and they could either wear a Packer thing or a dress, and so they wore a dress for a whole day. I remember like Gerard wore a dress one day.
So you're hold on. That's not even the crazier part. That stuff isn't crazy. The crazy part is you're telling me through the Gus Frerotte years, you never lost the Viking bet.
Well,
Christian Ponder years.
Right. Hey, they made the playoffs with Ponder once. So I can't say that I made a lot of bets. I think I tried to make smart bets, and I just avoided them when I mean, I'm always a fan, of course, but I'm not stupid either. Sometimes, anyway.
Sophia made popcorn, so I got a little popcorn for because we also have to celebrate tonight. We're gonna watch some videos. We'll just hang out, watch some videos. One of my favorite Packers of all time, as well. Ben has one of his favorite Packers of all time right behind him. Ben, new background. Wait, come back. There you go. Look at Aaron Jones. He's looking at you so fondly in this picture. It's like he's fixated on looking at his biggest fan.
So
Ben, his biggest fan.
I know you already had the Aaron Jones special, the special Sunday night edition, which is great.
It was emergency Hafeman Bros. What do you think of that, Eric?
Well, I have a few comments. I remember when I saw the news, I was not happy because I was really hoping they would let him walk because he's obviously easily the best running back on the team. Not to mention, definitely, I would at least easily say top 5 in the NFL. And what also made me upset is that he took like a hometown discount for him.
Yeah, he did.
Still like $12 million a year, but I mean, that's that was a pretty team friendly deal. So I wasn't happy about that either. And some people were ripping it a little bit like, well, why'd you draft this running back in the second round that's got really big legs and whatever? But
very good question.
I get it. I mean, why not roll with that second round guy, make him your guy on the cheap, and why are you investing in running back? A lot of people are trending away from that. But given the deal that he got and that it was really team friendly and he's a really good player, I was, as a Viking fan, not happy about that at all.
That's called the Packer power of the Packers. Hey, Rick's in the house. How you doing, Rick?
Well, the bad news is I got bad news too.
Oh, no bad. Why are you always got to bring in the bad news?
Hang on, let me get my headphones in so I can hear you better. But it's not really a 4-year deal, everybody. I thought it was a 4-year deal. It's not. Somebody talk so I can hear if this thing works.
All right. How you doing?
Okay.
I'm eating my
It
popcorn.
works. Not a 4-year deal. We got
Okay. Anyways, because I'll tell you why. And the third year, it's like super high, expensive. Ugh. Stop that, please. And he has like a $7 million roster bonus if he's on the team at the start of the new year or whatever. So there's no way it ends up going to end up being like $20-some million for the third year of the contract if he gets the roster bonus. So either one of two things is going to happen. He's either going to play lights out for the next 2 years, and they're going to restructure him, or he's going to get hurt and stink, and then they're going to let him go. So it's really not a 4-year deal. It's a 2-year deal for $20 million with, and they could do that by giving him $13 million guaranteed, which is spread over 4 years. And then that made the salary cap hit for this season only like 4-point-something thousand, or 4-point-something million, like less than 5 million salary cap hit, as opposed to it would have been 8 million if they would have franchise tagged him, which is so that saved him another $3 million or whatever by doing it this way. Then next season his cap hit will be, in the high teens or whatever. They're like 10 million, 11 million or something like that. But either way, it's guaranteeing at least 2 years more of Aaron Jones. And
on the cheap, really, those 2 years are pretty cheap.
Well, for $5 million for him, come on. But I mean, especially when you compare it to all the other guys, and I don't know how the structures are for like Kamara and Dalvin Cook and all these guys, but he's a different running back. And I talked about this a little bit on Sunday, but the biggest thing that's interesting to me about the whole deal is everywhere in the NFL, like when you watch these guys, these running backs, like even Jamal Williams, he got like a 2-year deal for like nothing. He's making like $2 to $3 million or whatever, and which is not much more than what like AJ Dillon is making, almost $2 million as a second round pick. And yet you have these wide receivers who want $20 million a year, $25 million a year, these high paid guys. And that's why none of them were getting signed in free agency the first couple of days, because they want the big money, and the teams are like, no. And I understand that you think you could just throw a guy in there and he'll be good as running back. But I really don't see, and something really interesting to me is that last year it was like biggest wide receiver draft, right? There was like 35 good wide receivers. And this year there's supposed to be so many good wide receivers. And I'm wondering if not only is the money going down for wide receivers this season, but maybe on a curve going forward, where wide receivers are going to start being kind of treated like running backs, where the money's not going to be as high anymore. Because if you ask me, a guy who gets the ball like Dalvin Cook 30 times a game is way more valuable than Justin Jefferson, who gets the ball 11 times a game at the most, sometimes 4 or 5. I don't know about you, Mo, and I understand big plays come out of Justin Jefferson sometimes and Thielen. But let's face it, the Vikings offense runs on Dalvin Cook. So if anybody should be the highest paid guy, it should be the running back or the guy who gets the ball the most, if not the quarterback, depending on what your team runs. So what do you think? I mean, I don't know what you think about that sort of thing. I don't think, even if Aaron Jones' contract was actually $12 million a year, which is not, I think that's a good deal for the Pack. Way better than like a $17-18 million for a wide receiver like Galladay or whatever from the Lions is looking for his big pay, and all these guys. It just doesn't make any sense. Why would a guy who only gets the ball thrown to him 10 times a game be worth more money than a dude who's touching the ball 25 times a game? I don't know. It's just weird to me.
I think it's because it's a passing league, and I think a lot of teams feel like they can patch things together with like a running back by committee, and that you can get running backs in the draft pretty deeper in the draft. You don't have to draft them high anymore, so you can just draft a new one whenever you need a new one, and for 3 years, and then when they get too expensive, you draft a new one and in like the 3rd round, and you're fine. Like even I think Kamara, was he second? I think he was second or third.
He's second round, yeah.
So was Cook. I mean, for that matter. I mean, but I think there's certain guys in the league, and there's not, obviously the Vikings are more run heavy offense, as are the Titans, and maybe paying running backs in those offenses makes more sense. But for most of the league, it's a passing league, and receivers are just getting more right now. And I think that's the way GMs are kind of building teams too, because they're like, well, if I need a running back, I can get one of those easily. It's getting one of the top targets. It's harder, I mean. So.
Yeah, but my thing is this. Yes, you can get a running back. You can just get a whatever running back. Sure. But is he a dynamic play-making crazy guy? Listen, I was kind of interesting because I want to ask you this, because you went I don't know who was there before Robert Smith, but you had Robert Smith pretty much went right to Adrian Peterson not too long after that.
Chester Taylor in between, but yep.
Yeah, but he wasn't that bad either.
But
okay. and then Dalvin Cook pretty much right after Adrian Peterson almost.
Yep.
So you've had Pro Bowl running backs for the last 25 years. And yeah, you haven't had a Pro Bowl quarterback like we have, but as a Packer fan, when you go from, Jim Taylor, the next good running back we had was Dorsey Levens. That was like 20 years. And then we had Amon Green for a couple of years before they figured out that he was getting hurt and they traded him to Houston. And then we went another 10, 11 years where we had, or 10 years where we had nobody. And then we finally got Aaron Jones, and then we didn't play him for the first 2 years like idiots. And then finally LaFleur came in and was like, hey, this guy's awesome. Let's get him in there. Excuse me. But as a Packer fan, I'm telling you, we have tried to just throw a guy in there. We've tried to just draft the guy late or get an undrafted free agent or trade for Ryan Grant or whoever it is. James Starks, he's a nice guy. He wasn't like superstar. And yeah, Fat Boy Lacy, we had him for a while, but he sucked. He was fat and lazy. That was a waste of a second round pick. And that was one where, we went for the big guy. And what did he do? Nothing. He had one big
bigger.
run.
Went for the big guy. He got bigger.
Right. But
and slower.
That's what I'm trying to say is, like, I don't understand GMs where they're like, if you have a guy and he's on your, and fans too, for that matter, when you have a guy and he's on your team and he's awesome, like, especially in the Packers situation where we haven't had awesome at running back, why are fans freaking out about the contract when it, as Mo says, it's a friendly deal and he's a freaking game breaker? As a Vikings fan, he's not happy Aaron Jones is back.
It's bad.
And I am super happy Aaron Jones is back. Let me ask you a question, Mo. Are you more scared?
Hold on.
Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. Think about this.
We'll ask him that in a second.
Addition by subtraction. We got rid of Jamal Williams, which means Aaron Jones is going to get the ball even more now, Mo. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that's smart because I don't think Jamal Williams is very good at all. He's not bad, but he's just a guy.
Hey,
and the fact that he was splitting carries, come on.
He was very good at one thing, not fumbling. He didn't fumble in like 500 touches or something like that.
Well, that's good. There's something to be said about that. But
he's good blitz pickup guy too.
I was always a lot happier when he got a carry and it wasn't Aaron Jones, though.
Well, it's not even carries, Mo. There were times where Aaron Jones wasn't in the game.
Right. No passes.
And the Vikings and the defense or anybody for that matter could just be like, okay, well, it was Aaron Jones back there, so let's not worry about that. At least put him in there so you got to worry about him.
Right. Yeah.
If Packers should know this from history, in the Super Bowl when we lost to Denver, they just put what's his face had the migraine headaches. What was it, Terrell Davis? And they're like, just get in the game, so that they think we're going to give you the ball, but we're not going to give you the ball. But if you're not in there, they're not going to believe that we're going to do the handoff fake, right? That's in the freaking sound of the game, right? After the game. Why would you not have your best players on the field at all times? I don't understand.
Well, I think actually the Vikings got a little heat last year for having Cook in the game too much. You got to give some rest, but I agree with you. I think it was way too much of a split. It felt like 50-50. Like, why isn't Jones getting a lot more carries? I'm still worried actually they'll give a lot to Dillon. It'll still be a split. Maybe you're okay with that versus Williams, but I think you got to give Jones the ball. It's got to be at least 80% of the time.
All right, you guys have talked enough. Stop now.
No.
I got Ben's already fired up. He's already fired up.
The big difference.
He's trying to make this whole show about Aaron Jones. I want to talk about other stuff.
I'll make the whole show about Aaron Jones. He's the number 1 rated running back, number 2 rated number back.
All right, go on with your thing, and I'll tell you something.
Number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, number 10. Top
we
10
got a
running back in the NFL.
Aaron Jones. Comments right now.
Number 1 to 10. No, what I'm saying to you is this, Mo. The difference between Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams and Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon is LaFleur is going to use A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones on the field at the same time, way more often, because they're so different. And Aaron Jones will be used in, if they're smart, he'll be used in more of that like scat back crazy man, little swerve and Irvin role, as well as regular running back role. And then you're going to be like, what the crap? I got thunder, I got lightning, The Vikings are going to be like, Harrison Smith's going to take a dump right in the field because he doesn't know what's going on. When A.J. Dillon's going to come running right straight at him. He's going to be like, and then he's done. Just like that.
All right, that's great. Now,
All right, I'm muting now.
A.J. Dillon is – they're not going to use him at the same time, Ben, because they got all those tight ends they got to get on the field. So it's probably not going to happen, man.
They're going to run 3 tight ends and 2 running backs. That's going to be their main set. They're going to run that 50% of the time this year.
And 4 guards?
Yeah.
Bakhtiari?
They don't have enough tackles. They got to start guards at both tackle spots.
And then, so, yeah, okay. I can see it. All right, we got a bunch of chatters here. Bernard at first was a little fired up.
Oh, what happened?
Trying to say Vikings are trash, but I told him to be nice. So then he just said the Bears still suck, which is true.
We can agree with that.
We go there.
Yep.
And then he said he still loves Moe, so that's good.
Thanks.
Ekis is around. How you doing, Ekis? Rick, Bernard saying a bunch of stuff. Oh, Ekis likes my beer. Bernard's trying to get me mad by saying Kevin King is the GOAT, and he loves Kevin King.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, stop it. Bernard, why? You're just trying to get my GOAT. I don't like it because Kevin King was one of the worst cornerbacks, and you know why he makes me so mad is because the Packers passed on T.J. Watt and picked him instead. That's the worst part about it. We drafted plenty of terrible cornerbacks in the last 20 years. Don't get me wrong. So it's not like he's an exception to that. We drafted a bunch of crappy cornerbacks for years and years and years and years because we're trying to make our defense better, and it still sucks. But we didn't pass up like an awesome pass rusher guy who grew up in freaking Wisconsin, played for the University of Wisconsin, is a stud in the NFL, one of the best defensive players. We didn't pass up that guy to draft another crappy cornerback most of those other years. So that's why it pisses me off even more. And on top of that, for some reason, I mean, Kevin King's just an idiot. I don't like him at all. He does a bunch of dumb stuff on the field. He's always trying to pick fights, get all fired up when he doesn't do anything. And you're just like, just don't get a penalty, you moron. Like, I know you can't cover anybody, and usually you won't tackle him either, but at least don't get a penalty. But he can't manage to do that either at the end of the NFC Championship game. Or cover his guy at the end of the first half because somehow he lets him get behind him. So no more Kevin King ever again. No, 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 no. But there is a cornerback we should talk about. Because one of my favorite Packers of all time, awesome dude, great cornerback, a guy who was pivotal and instrumental in the Packers' last Super Bowl run, retired this week. The one and only Mr. Tramon Williams. Tramon Williams is awesome. Always was. Mo, what are your memories of Tramon Williams? Probably not very good. He picked off the Vikings guys a lot. He had like 38 interceptions in his career, and I think at least 5 against the Vikings.
He was annoyingly good. And I know that the interception I remember the most wasn't against the Vikings. It was the Eagles in the playoffs. He picked off Michael Vick in the end zone when the Eagles really had a great chance there to win that game, and he sealed the victory there. And I think that was NFC Championship. I think I went to the Super Bowl after that, right? So that's the one I remember the most from him. And then he came back and he's really old, but he was still good. And that's just annoying. You know, it was kind of like Charles Woodson. Like everyone thought he was washed up, but then he was really good with the Packers. But Tramon Williams was just really good for a long time. And he played for the Packers a lot. So it was annoying from my perspective, but So I'm glad he retired. Now he can't play anymore. And that's good.
That is not, you can't be glad. Come on now. Now, look.
I'm happy for him. He had a great career.
Hey, that Tramon Williams single-handedly pretty much won 3 games. Maybe not one, but he closed out and or destroyed on 3 games out of the 4 games that led to that Packers Super Bowl.
Yep.
The interception against the Eagles was actually the first playoff game, Mo.
Okay.
And the Packers weren't up by many points at the end of that game. And now that was a dumb throw by Michael Vick, trying to throw to a tall white receiver. But Tramon's too damn good. You don't be doing that crap on him. And then the next game was the Atlanta game, when right before the end of the first half, he read a play that the Falcons ran all the time, where Matt Ryan tried to throw to Julio Jones on a quick out, and Tramon's like, "No, sir, I'm picking that off, take it to the house, scored a touchdown." And after that, the Packers just creamed the crap out of him. And then the next week was the NFC Championship game against the Bears, and he had a good game, but I don't remember him making any huge, awesome plays. But then in the Super Bowl, the guy who made the last breakup on the very last play on the Packers playing defense got his hand in there, broke up the pass, which then allowed the Packers to win the Super Bowl. So Tramon is instrumental. And the best part about him was undrafted, just signed to the team as a regular guy, and worked hard, did all the things right. He did a lot of study. That was one of the things I remember about Tramon. He always talked about how much he'd study his opponent. He would study their game film. He'd study their tendencies out of formations. He'd study receivers' takeoffs and releases. He would study how they would move and how they would adjust and what they would do to try to get open, and how he would know from just little things they would do what the route combination was, or what the route that was being run against him was, which is why he almost never got beat. Even on a play, his last play, the first time before he left the Packers, where they left him zero coverage over the top, and Russell Wilson threw a perfect pass to beat them in the NFC Championship game. Tramon had perfect coverage on that play, even though he had no safety help or nothing. It was just a great pass, and there was nothing really much Tramon could do on that play. That's why it was great to see him come back again. And then, in a couple of years there, and then he played great. He was never much of a tackler. He didn't like tackling much, but he could cover. He was smart. And he was a great leader, and he taught a lot of guys like Jair, for instance. And, I guess Kevin King, though I don't know why, and Savage the last year, to show them, hey, this is how you play. This is how you are professional. And one of the best parts I liked was not this last year, but the year before, when they won, I can't remember if it was the NFC Championship or no, when they won the division or something. Everybody put their big division T-shirts on. They're like, yeah, woohoo. And there's a picture of the whole defense. And Tramon is the one guy who didn't wear a division T-shirt. And after they asked him, they're like, Tramon, how come you didn't wear a division T-shirt? And he's like, nah, this isn't the one. This isn't the shirt I want to wear. The shirt I want to wear is coming up later. And that just shows you what he was playing at the end of his career for. You wanted another championship. That's why he's the man.
Now, look, here's some stats for the man. I didn't even realize some of this stuff. I know he didn't seem like he was much of a tackler, but he had – in 2013, he had 84 tackles for a corner. That's a crap load of tackles for a corner. He had 70, 69, 64, 61 in the 50s. The other big things here, when you look at him, are the passes defense. He had 14, 15, 20, 22, 16, 11, 13, 10, and then 12 a couple years later in Arizona. I mean, the guy was consistent. He was always around the ball. He always, he made incredible plays too on a lot of his interceptions, and the stuff Ben was talking about, his study and his anticipation, just his smarts. You can see in a bunch of the picks he made, and we're going to watch some of them tonight. We're going to have little Tramon breaks, and we're going to have little Tramon breaks where we show some of his picks. Cause I went and looked at this one video. I'm going to pull one up here in just a second to start him off. We got a good one here. We'll start it off for Mo. This one's for Mo. We had a couple of Vikings ones. Sorry, Mo. Sorry,
That's all
Mo.
right. I tried to erase them all, but I probably didn't know.
Here's one. Here's one here. I think this is Favre here on this one. Let's take it. Let's see here. Maybe not. Oh no, this is Gus Frerotte here on this one.
Gus Frerotte doesn't count.
Watch the play he makes though. It's pretty dang good. Watch from the backside here. He looked open. Oh,
it's a great play.
That ball was thrown way behind.
It was, but look at how it closes on that.
I don't think it would have mattered. It's a great play.
All right, that's the first of a few different Tramon breaks we're going to have today. Okay, you guys talk about free agents. Mo, the Vikings signed a free agent. What's his name?
Which one?
Well, who did they sign? I only paid attention to Patrick Peterson.
Oh, well, there's Patrick Peterson, but they also signed Dalvin Tomlinson. So he's a defensive tackle from the Giants. Little nugget about that. There's only two players in the NFL that have the first name Dalvin, and they're both in the Vikings now. Dalvin Tomlinson and Dalvin Cook. True story. So Dalvin Tomlinson's, he's a pretty big guy. I think they moved him between nose and three technique and the Giants. So they got him, and then they have Pierce coming back, who opted out with COVID, and then hopefully Daniil Hunter as well. So their defensive line should look quite a bit different this coming year. So I'm pretty excited about that. I think they got run over quite a bit down the stretch last season. So having those two defensive tackles now up the middle will help quite a bit. Maybe not against Aaron Jones, but definitely against AJ Dillon.
All right. What do you think about Patrick Peterson at this point in his career?
Yeah, when I first saw it, I was not happy because I'd much rather have them spend the money on some offensive line help. But he didn't play great last year, right? I think he had the most penalties in the league. They play a lot of man defense down in Arizona, and Zimmer obviously is much more zone heavy. And I actually think they might move him to safety. A lot the same way that maybe the Packers used Charles Woodson later in his career, moved from corner to safety. I think this did the same thing with Terrence Newman. He was kind of an emergency safety for them. So, and I always think that because they were talking with Anthony Harris to try to get a deal with him. He ended up signing, I think, today with, I think, the Eagles for like $5 million or something, a 1-year deal. Pretty cheap. But they were trying to get him back. So I think they got Patrick Peterson knowing that they could maybe move him to safety because right now they still have 2 first-round picks in Hughes and Gladney. Hughes has been hurt a lot. And then Dantzler, who played well last year. So they still have quite a few corners. So I'm guessing they'll move him at safety. Either way, they needed some more veteran presence back there. So it's like basically a 1-year deal. Well, it is a 1-year deal. So we'll see how it pans out. But, he's definitely got almost a Hall of Fame type, resume for his career. He's been really good. Down year last year, but I think in his zone system, he might be better, but we'll see.
Ben, any thoughts on Patrick Peterson coming to the team you get to watch a lot? Vikings?
Nah, don't care.
Oh,
I mean, hey, it could be a situation, like I think it's a good move for the Vikings, to be honest, because Zimmer loves old corners, and we all know that. And it's good to have a guy who's been there, done that, been a Pro Bowler, been awesome. Especially when you got 3 very young dudes on the team, only in their second year or whatever it is. He can show them some ropes. They'll see how a super awesome pro has done it for years and years and years. And maybe he's on the decline, but he's still, there's no doubt that he was probably top 3, if not top 2, for a good 6 years there in a row. So, I mean, he's somebody who can really, really show these young guys how to do it for the Vikes, and it's not a bad move, to be quite honest. And it also it just shows you how different some teams are from other teams, and like when you look at, I just think it's a smart move because the Vikings understand where they're at as far as their defense last year was not good. They got passed on. They got ran on. Granted, they had a lot of guys hurt. Now, Danielle Hunter, did he go somewhere else? Wasn't he a free agent?
No. He's under contract. He's
under contract.
He's not happy with his contract, but he missed all of last year with a neck injury. So they're hoping he's going to be okay. And then it's not a great off season to try to restructure someone's contract and pay them more money. But so there's this rumors. It might be mostly agent speak, but yeah. So they didn't have Hunter all year. They didn't have Barr for basically 14 and a half games. They lost Kendricks for 4 games down the stretch. Injuries to corners throughout the whole season. Obviously didn't have Pierce up front either. So it was, basically all their best players on defense were either out or not playing. So but they definitely wanted to retool this offseason. They got a defensive end, Stephen Weatherly, back, who was kind of a reserve pass rushing guy for them. So, Zimmer really wanted to retool the defense because I think, he was obviously not happy. I think at the end of the season, he said, this is the worst defense I've ever had. So, but obviously injuries was a big part of that. And other teams got injuries too. I'm not making excuses. It just seemed like they had a lot at the same positions, which can be really detrimental. A lot of linebacker and defensive line. So,
all right,
I was just gonna say, it seems like Zimmer likes having veteran, smart guys on his team, especially defense.
Maybe Zimmer can talk Tramon out of retirement.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, get Tramon over there too. But I mean, no. But what I'm saying is like, hey, now at every level of the team, he's got some sort of smart veteran type guy,
right?
And and actually, in some cases too, right? And I don't think Patrick Peterson's going to be on play on the outside. He'll probably play more of like a slot defender type, because he's a bigger body, now and he's older, and you won't have to worry so much about speed. It's more about taking things on. He can also cover tight ends pretty well. And then you got him and Smith, Harrison Smith in the secondary. You got Eric Hendricks. He's awesome. Now they did lose that other guy though, right? Who's the other linebacker that played a lot last year? That played when Barr got hurt. Wilson or
Eric
something?
Wilson, yeah, and he made some plays, but he was not actually a very good tackler at all. And obviously, it'd still be great to keep him, but they're not going to. Obviously, with where the cap is, he's going to get paid a little bit more. I don't know if he officially signed with anyone yet, but
what about Troy Dye? You drafted Troy Dye. He was a guy I studied last year because I wanted the Packers to get an inside linebacker.
Yep.
He's 6'3". He runs really fast. He's got good hands as far as like getting picks and stuff like that. At least he did in college at Oregon.
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm assuming he's going to get some playing time this year, right?
Well, he got quite a bit last year. And he's more of a cover linebacker guy right now. I'd like him to add a little more to his frame, but because he's a pretty tall guy. But he's in line for the third linebacker spot for sure. They did sign Nick Vigil from San Diego, I think. So, but he's more of a reserve, I think, linebacker for depth sort of a thing. But I know they want to try to develop him, but we'll see what we get. He had kind of mixed reviews that last season when he got kind of pressed into playing a little bit more, but hopefully that'll be payoff for this year. We'll see.
We have some Packers on the move. Speaking of the Chargers, Corey Linsley joins Brian Bulaga on the Chargers offensive line.
That's a big loss, right? I mean,
no, it's okay. We got Patrick could play center. Jenkins could play center.
Jenkins is really good.
They might even be working on.
He's okay.
Maybe might even be working on Runyon or that kid they drafted out of Oregon last year late. But Lucas Patrick could play center this year. I don't have any problem with that. He could certainly do it, and he'd be better at it than if you had watched one of our previous shows recently where I talked about the offensive line. The center usually isn't manned up on somebody, not very often, so he's a helper a lot of times. And Lucas Patrick is their best helper by far when somebody else is engaged because he actually knocks guys on their butts and stuff and tries hard instead of just standing there doing nothing. Anyway, it's another Tramon break. Here we go, Tramon break. We'll get this one out of the way, Eric. This is
another one.
This is Brett Favre. This is Brett Favre here.
He deserves it.
Hold on. Maybe I can share sound on this. I get back to. Let's share the sound because then we get the full Favre effect here. All right, let's go.
Is
Ready?
Favre gonna talk?
No, but they say his name, so you know it's him.
Quick setup and throw picked off by Tramon.
Now on the replay of this, it's pretty awesome.
He didn't look that down, like stare him down the entire time or nothing.
Watch Tramon in this though. Look at him. Just go. Just go. Look at Farvey.
Looks like he's going to throw the flat.
Look at him.
And then he's late coming.
Oh no.
He's got such great arm strength that he gets away with that a lot.
Who won that game though?
No, he didn't. And this is a perfect example of a defensive
I don't know, but it's still Brett Favre
back.
going down, which is good. All right, here we're going to go over the Super Bowl run because I didn't realize Tramon had 2 interceptions in the Atlanta game, Ben. I didn't know that. So here's the one Eric was talking about. This is in 2010 playoffs. Okay, he had 34 regular season interceptions, 4 postseason interceptions, 3 in the 2010 postseason, and this is the one to end the game against the Eagles, and then right after we get the Atlanta ones for context.
Yeah.
And the other awesome thing is he goes up and makes plays on the ball on a bunch of his picks. Like he elevates and just plays the ball. I mean, just like a wide receiver would.
So many corners wouldn't even look back for the ball in that play, which is just maddening. But he makes it look easy.
He was so good. One of my favorite Packers.
Charlie Pepper,
they all smush him. They all lay on him. Here, this is with 2 minutes left in the second quarter. So first he does that crazy pick. Then with 6 seconds left, he did the other
in the end zone
that we all remember. Yeah. So 2 minutes before he makes the other one, he made that pick in the end zone to stop a touchdown drive when it was 14-14.
Wow.
Crazy.
And look at this. I know the ball's underthrown, but look at the play.
He's looking for the ball though. That's the difference.
Look
Look
at the
how high he
play,
gets, too.
dude.
He's looking back at the. That's pretty good hops.
He's so good.
I wish I could-
Undrafted out of Louisiana Tech. This is the one we all remember.
I wish I could jump that high.
Watch what he does to Matt Ryan. Oh,
Oh, that's brilliant.
one of my favorite Packers of all time. He's so good. Such a good guy, too.
I didn't realize how big of a body Nick Collins had compared to Tramon. Either Tramon is really tiny.
Look at him.
He was a small guy, but
and he baited quarterbacks all the time, too.
oh
like
yeah,
that.
he did. He did.
Why
He
did
sat
he
there and
throw
looked
that?
like he was
right.
open. He looked like you're kind of open. No, you're
Look
not.
open at all on that play.
Because
That
I'm
was
Tremont.
dumb.
Watch this. Look at him right there. He's like, he's open.
It's not
he's
open. No,
No, he's not.
He's not.
No, he's not.
That juke is pretty sweet though.
I'll say one more thing. Just
Go ahead.
shout out to Charlie Pepper.
Oh my god.
Because no, god dang it, listen to me. You know who Charlie Pepper was? Charlie Pepper made it possible for Nick Collins to go and take shots and get some interceptions and make great plays. Because a lot of times Charlie Pepper was the last line defense guy, and people didn't give him enough credit. He was a very, very good, solid safety who didn't let things get past him. And when you watch the Packers secondary during those years, when he was the backup, he was a backup for a long time. Then he got the start, and he was good. And then the Giants stole him away from us in free agency. And after he left and Nick Collins got hurt, we had crappy safeties for years. So it's
they're still not good, but they're better than they have been for a long time.
But I mean, Charlie Pepper was pretty much an Adrian Amos type guy, but differently because Pepper had his play deep a lot. He allowed Nick Collins to roam a little bit and do some crazy plays.
I'm gonna show you one quick other share. This guy also benefited from Tremont a lot. Thanks to Tremont, he made a lot of money and got to be the Packers coach for a very long time.
Oh, that's not nice.
The mixer. Okay. All right. Also, the Bears made some moves this week.
Oh my god.
Anybody want to comment on that? Eric, what do you think about those Bears moves?
I just think it's a bad sign when you sign a quarterback and he feels like he has to say that he's the quarterback one. Like if you have to say it, then there's a reason for doubt, right? I mean, Dalton, I think he'd be a lot better served as being deemed as the best backup in the NFL because I don't know. I'm fine with it. It's the Bears, so that's fine with me if that's what they want to try to do. But Trubisky, though, he signed with the Bills. You guys see that on a 1-year deal. So I don't know why the Bills need to back up like Mitch Trubisky, but that's fine. But whatever, to each their own. But you got to be thinking the Bears are going to target someone in the draft again, right? I mean, does that make sense?
I don't know, man.
Probably.
They're picking late. They're picking late.
There's still
They made
guys
the
like
playoffs
Matt,
last year.
like Matt Jones. You know, I don't know.
People are saying he's going to be gone in the first 12 picks. Mac Jones.
I think that would be dumb.
Why?
I don't think that. I don't think he's as gifted as some of the other quarterbacks, and in terms of just, his arm strength and those things. He played obviously a really great program. He had really great weapons. I'm just not as sold on Matt Jones. I think he'd be fine, but he just looks like a backup quarterback to me in the NFL. He does. I just don't see it.
Just because he's got a body like me, a 46-year-old man, doesn't mean that he can't be a top-notch quarterback with arm strength and accuracy and decision-making. So I think you're wrong. I think he is going to be good.
Okay.
So, I mean, this isn't a Brandon Whedon or whatever his name was with the Browns.
That was a bad one.
Where that guy did not look like a starting quarterback, and he didn't have the arm of a starting quarterback. And that was a bad move by Mike Holmgren to draft him. And the Browns was a bad move. But this guy is not old. He's just, he's got a little gut or whatever the crap, and he doesn't look like a specimen. See, these guys, you've been looking at too many of these athletic, fast quarterbacks. Okay? Look at you. You got Kirk Cousins. Mo, let me ask you a question. Kirk Cousins had the highest ball
Finds all the highest stats for Kirk Cousins.
passing air yards per attempt last season. Number 1, Kirk Cousins. which means nobody threw the ball further downfield than that guy. And he's very accurate. We all know that. He also gets no freaking protection half the time because his offensive line is terrible.
Stephon Diggs didn't know that stat. Probably thought his quarterback had more air yards, but no, his old quarterback had more air yards.
Yeah, his old quarterback.
Diggs.
And not only that, Kirk Cousins only had I think he only ended the season with 13 picks, even though he started with 11 in the first couple games there, 6. Yep. So he played great at the end of the year.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
What's going on?
Well, I get a lot of this. There's a lot of people that are Viking fans, or so they say, but they rip on Cousins because they say he's a stat monger, right? He gets all his stats in garbage time, and all these things, or he got all these stats in games when they got blown out because the defense wasn't able to keep the game close for him. But in crunch time, he's not able to make some of these plays, and they rip on him for not being mobile, and he's not immobile. But I'll say that his pocket presence is not like Tom Brady like. I mean, because you think about Tom Brady, he's not mobile, but he was good enough about just sidestepping the pocket, stepping up in the pocket. The problem is, the argument I have with that is that most of their pressure and their guards were so terrible last year. I mean, they were the worst in the league, or I think actually technically second worst in the league. But in terms of pass protection, so you get pressure up the middle. Any quarterback that can't step up, the pressure up the middle is worse than pressure on the edge. Pressure on the edge, you can roll out, you can step up the pocket, but if pressure's up the middle, there's not much you can do, even if you're mobile or not. But I think that's why everyone's kind of clamoring that we want a mobile quarterback. The whole league is that way now. Obviously with people like Mahomes and Lamar and those things, people are kind of clamoring for more that type of quarterback athlete. Which makes sense. It's a trend. I get it. People like that are winning Super Bowls and getting MVPs. So, but I think a pocket passer still has a place in this league, but you really have to have the protection, right? I mean, the fact that he did what he did last year without great protection, to me, was pretty impressive. But, they really need the running game to set up the play action because it's easier to pass protect and play action. But when they can't, I'm nervous. I'm like, oh, straight drop back. This can't be good. So every time there's a normal drop back pass, I get a little nervous, or a shotgun on 3rd and long. So I'm hoping they shore that up this year. But I'm not a Cousins apologist. I think he's a good quarterback, but he really just needs the protection, like the protection that Tom Brady's got most of his career. He needs that kind of protection. When he gets it, he can dice up anybody, right? But that's the thing. So
we know he's a good thrower. I mean, he's smart. I've always liked Cousins. I think he's always been very good. Interesting though that you're saying the offensive line needs the play action pass more than the quarterback actually does. That's interesting.
Well, I think for the protection piece.
No, I get it. I mean, It's just that most people wouldn't think of it that way. They think, oh, this quarterback's much better off of play action or blah, 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 or it's so much easier for the quarterback. Well, mostly in your case, it's easier for the quarterback because it helps the offensive line not be as exposed, which is.
It just gives them more time than it does in a straight drop back. And every quarterback, I mean, it's not a surprise. Every quarterback has a higher passer rating out of play action than they do straight drop backs. But I think especially when you have a good running game, it can be even better because you're starting to kind of get safeties to cheat up. You freeze the linebackers, right? That's what they always talk about for the passing routes. But I think what people miss is how much easier it is to protect the quarterback because you don't have defensive ends flying upfield at you because the offensive line's coming at them. So, but that's what I noticed. They pass protect a lot better out of play action. So,
hey Ben, did you looked at Zadarius Smith's 12 and a half sacks? Did he realize the Vikings guards were so bad that he matched up against them in any of those games?
You should have.
You got that one sack when.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The first game of the year, but the second time the Vikings played the Packers, the Vikings were like, "You guys can't stop our run." Remember?
That's right.
There was 4 possessions in the first half. Remember?
Yep. They just ran and ran
and ran. And then the Packers had 1 3-and-out in the second half, and that was the end of it because the Vikings never gave the ball back and scored every damn time. Which is, and it's funny because I actually went back and listened to that show because I wanted to hear what you said to Mo last time he was on. I listened to that show today while I was at work because everybody knows I'm not really working. I'm just, so nothing. Anyways, I can work and listen at the same time. But all the things that I said I was worried about came true in that game.
Yep.
And even though Mo had he didn't even think they were going to win.
I didn't.
But I said to him, I was like, I don't know. Mo.
I
We
gotta
didn't
do
have
is
Aaron
run.
Jones. We didn't have Aaron Jones in that game. We didn't have Bakhtiari in that game. We didn't have Alan Lazard in that game.
Ooh, that hurts.
We had Devonte Adams, but we still lost. Let me think.
Well, it's
That's
because
the guy. What do you think about this, Mo? I've been talking about this for months. I think the Packers should trade Devonte Adams to the Raiders for a first-round pick.
That's it?
No more picks they're going to waste. No more picks they're going to waste. Give me a player that's actually good.
They can't afford the players. They need the picks because they can't afford to pay players.
Devonte Adams, arguably, definitely one of the best receivers in the league, though, right now, right? I mean, you can't really deny that. I mean, he's top 3. Okay. It's especially in terms of production. I mean, you can't deny the production. I get that Aaron Rodgers makes everyone better, but
he throws it to him every time.
Right? Why is that bad? He catches it every time.
No, he doesn't. He didn't catch it in the NFC Championship game. He drops freaking touchdown.
He still had a phenomenal year last year.
He dropped a couple touchdowns this year in the end, even though he had like 14 touchdowns. Yep. You know how many times the Packers? 18, I don't know how many times it is.
He tied Sterling Sharp 18.
Whatever. All I know is this. There's a bunch of times, including the first Vikings game, where the Packers had to go for it on 4th down inside the 10-yard line when they were in the red zone because they had drops by Devonte Adams. It was at least 3 times. Or they ran a ball up the gut or whatever stupid freaking play call and nobody can block because Billy Turner couldn't block me. All I'm telling you right now, I don't even like Justin Jefferson. I would take Justin Jefferson over Devonte Adams. Period. Because he's younger. He's not. Rodgers wouldn't throw to him 27 times a game. He'd actually spread the ball around.
I have a solution.
Vikings and the Packers trade?
No.
Because Vikings get Devontae, we take Justin
Jefferson. The Packers bring Larry Fitzgerald in this year.
No, he's coming home to Minnesota.
Nope.
I would love to see him go to Minnesota, actually. Yeah.
Packers bring Larry Fitzgerald in, and then they draft the quarterback they should have waited for, Trey Lance, instead of drafting Jordan Love last year. They could have left Jordan Love on the shelf and got some picks we could have used to get us to the Super Bowl so we could win the Super Bowl this year. And then they could have drafted Trey Lance this year by packaging all that draft capital they have and moving up in the draft to get him. And then they'd have 2
Trey Lance guys terrible.
On the team. No, he's got some skills, man. Did you watch
what? Tell me his skills.
Oh my God.
What are they?
He's got a good arm, really good arm. He's mobile.
Is he accurate?
He's athletic. Yes, he's accurate.
He had a lot of rushing yards.
He's accurate.
A lot of rushing yards.
You talked about LaFleur's system. Remember, in running LaFleur's pure system, Jared Goff could do it. You don't have to be perfectly accurate. If you're mobile and you can move around and do all the boots and do all the motions.
Are you saying that Aaron Rodgers didn't deserve that MVP because anybody, even Jared Goff, could run this offense?
No, I'm not saying that. You're a douchebag that would say that.
That's what you just
Aaron
said.
Rodgers runs a hybrid offense. He doesn't run the pure Matt LaFleur offense. I'm saying Jared Goff isn't very good, right? So he had to run the pure Sean McVay offense, and guys are open oftentimes if the offense works, and if you're not going against a defensive genius like Bill Belichick, who totally shuts you down, only gets 3 points against him in the Super Bowl, then the offense works against most of the crappy teams. And then guys like Jared Goff, you don't have to be super accurate. But Trey Lance peppers the ball, so he can fit in a tight window. He's got a great arm. He is athletic. He's smart. He never turns the ball over in college, except for this one stupid game this year that was all weird and all the COVID stuff and whatever. I'm going to base it on the full year he had before, and he's talented as heck. And he wants to work hard. He's a good kid. I would take him over Jordan Love any day. And that's what I was telling you last year the Packers should have done. I'm like, why wouldn't you just wait for this guy to come out? Instead, you get Jordan Love. And now he was inactive the whole year. And we just wasted a whole bunch of time and a guy. And especially because it says everything the Packers are doing, right? Aaron Rodgers is likely gone after this season. Or they're playing this game. If he lights it up again, we'll keep him on for another year. But if he doesn't light it up, we'll move on to our rookie quarterback. And
has there been a late restructure or anything with Rodgers that I don't know about? Anybody in the chat?
They did not restructure.
I haven't heard anything.
No.
Okay, because as of tomorrow morning, he gets a bonus $6.8 million or $7 million freaking roster bonus. So there's, even if they restructure after that, they're only going to save like $3-4 million by restructuring this year. So it's not, if it didn't happen by now, it's not happening.
It appears as though the Packers are taking this approach with Rodgers. They had planned on moving on to Jordan Love, but then Rodgers was the MVP, and they're like, oh, wait a minute. And so now they're like, well, if he keeps playing MVP every year level, we'll kind of take this year by year. You know, they got this year by year plan. But so basically, if he doesn't light him up this year and play awesome again, they'll probably move on from him and then insert Jordan Love. And that's also the signing of Aaron Jones tells you that. Do you really think the signing of Aaron Jones means we're going for it now? No, it means we're preparing for our bad rookie quarterback to play. So we need two good running backs because we're going to run the heck out of the ball like Ben wants because his rookie guy isn't any good. So that's what the Packers are preparing for. And next year, Aaron Rodgers will go to the Vikings. That's their 1 year plan. That's why they only signed Patrick Peterson to a 1 year thing. He'll be gone next year. Cap space will be freed up. Kirk Cousins' contract will be done. Boom. Aaron Rodgers insert in the Vikings following Brett Favre. Even though he didn't want his career trajectory to be anything like Favre's, it's going to almost mirror Favre's ending, except he's not going to suck at the end. He's going to actually win the Vikings their first Super Bowl in forever. Ever, right? Never? Never? God, Vikings are going to win their first Super Bowl by grabbing another Packers quarterback at the tail end of his career. And there you go. Done.
I have to say, I really like this narrative. I think
that's what's going to happen, dude.
I'm a fan of that. That doesn't make any sense to me at all, though. I mean, why?
It's all going to happen. I said it right here on what's the date? March 19th, 2021.
I don't care what rookie you draft. I mean, you got to march that guy out there until he looks like he can't play anymore because he's way too good, and it doesn't make any sense at all. Rodgers gives them a chance every season. Every season he gives them a chance, and you guys might have different feelings. I don't know. I can't read all of Ben's faces all the time.
No, you're spot on.
He gives them a chance every season, regardless of who else is on the team.
And that's all the Packers want is a chance. They want to give their fan base hope that there's a chance, but they're never committing to trying to go for the Lombardi trophy. And that's what we've been talking about the last several weeks. Corey talked about it last offseason. Took me a while to come around on it, but I've seen it now. That is the Packers because they don't follow a plan. They're not playing for the future. They're not rebuilding. They're not playing to win now. They're like, okay, we're going to make sure we don't totally fall apart and have the bottom drop off on us. And, if all the breaks go our way, we got this awesome quarterback, we got some good guys in place, and we might, if everything falls together, we could get to another Super Bowl and potentially win it. But we're not going to really commit to trying to do it. And that's what the Packers are. And unfortunately, as Packers fans, that's what you got to accept. So my expectations for the Packers are now incredibly lowered. I'm sick of the playoff disappointments. The thing the Packers don't realize is that a bunch of the younger fan base is also really sick of the playoff disappointments because they have been spoiled. They don't remember the old days like Ben and I do when the Packers were terrible, when they were just one of the worst teams in the whole league and sucked and couldn't even get a first down sometimes. They don't remember those days. So they just remember all the success, except not getting the ultimate success now for going on 11 years. And that fan base is getting a little tired of it. And they see these other crap ball teams that all of a sudden turn around and go and win a Super Bowl. And then, they might suck for a little while, like Ben talked about, but then they're in the Super Bowl after 3-4 years of their plan coming together. The Packers plan sucks because they go back and forth all the time. They're like, oh, wait, we're going to play for now. Oh, no, we're going to draft guys and we're going to play for later. And, but we can't overcommit. No. Oh, no. We got JJ Watt. We're not going to really go after him. We're not going to really make a play for some of these big guys. But wait a minute. We signed Zadarius Smith and all these guys a couple years ago. Oh, yeah. But those contracts are butting us back in the butt. Anyway, as a side note, Zadarius Smith restructured his contract, did not extend his contract, though. They just restructured it. So the Packers also recognize they're playing this year by year with Zadarius Smith, too. They don't want to have him on the team any longer than they've already committed to him because they saw what happened last year. Even though what the end numbers say, we talked about it last week, what the actual reality of his numbers were last year. And that's that he wasn't very good most of the time.
I think they actually are going all in this year.
I doubt.
And I beg to differ. There's a lot of Packer fans who are like, why aren't they making any splash signings at free agency? And I'm like, they've done a lot. They had a team that went to the NFC Championship game twice, 2 years in a row. And they restructured a whole crap ton of guys to keep that team as much together as they possibly can. Plus, they're making additions by subtraction. Kevin King is gone. Hopefully, they don't sign him back. And then they hopefully either draft somebody or get somebody in that place. Who else is gone? I don't know. But they can get Jamal Williams. That's the biggest one. Jamal Williams is gone. Guess what? That's more Aaron Jones and more A.J. Dillon. I mean, I love that. You got Christian Kirksey's gone. Hopefully, we get some Ty Summers in there with Chris Barnes. Hey, who else is gone?
Lindsley.
Well, Lindsley, that one might hurt. That one might hurt. But if there's one thing the Packers can do is they can find late round interior linemen. They're all pretty decent. I mean, you can just rattle them off. Boom, 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 boom. All these guys they find in the middle to late rounds and or undrafted interior linemen. Plus Lane Taylor, they need to sign him back. He'd be great. If you have an inside tandem of Lane Taylor, Jenkins, and Patrick, that's a top-notch interior line group right there. And then start Runyon Bunyan at a tackle. He's got a year of experience. He played tackle in college. Start him at tackle for a while until Bakhtiari comes back. If he needs some help,
he should be able to handle right tackle.
He can handle left tackle. Just give him a little help every now and again. Stick a tight end over there. Put DeGuara. That's the other thing. DeGuara should be back. That'll give us that H-back sneak attack coming out of the backfield, doing whatever else where they need him to do that. And just decent blocker.
Just have Bakhtiari teach him how to hold, right?
He's going to have
special
meetings with Bakhtiari to teach everybody how to hold. Yeah, that's the perfect thing right there. I mean, he can't play. So if he's injured, he might as well come in and teach the guy something.
He should be the O-line coach.
He should. I do have to say this. So I know you talked about some draft blunders for the Packers. Obviously, Vikings have had theirs too. But there's one thing that the Packers seem to be able to do forever is that they find these offensive linemen later in the draft all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what was the last first round pick they had offensive line? Was that Balaga? I think.
No, it was Derek Sherrod.
Balaga.
Oh, okay. Right. So
was Derek Sherrod after that?
No, I think Sherrod was before Balaga.
But all these other guys were really late round picks, right? And the Vikings have tried to do the same with no success at all. They're drafting high with offensive linemen and not having great success, and they're missing. So, as much as they maybe hit on some other things along, on the defensive side of the ball, they've definitely missed some offensive line where the Packers seem to. And when you think about it, I mean, the one thing Aaron Rodgers does that maybe LaFleur doesn't like is that he holds the ball forever. But he holds the ball forever because he can. I mean, he's got amazing protection all the time. Mostly because Bakhtiari is holding, but. He's a good player.
At least on that side, you're right. But actually, what Rodgers does, which he also displayed in the NFC Championship game, is that he makes that offensive line look a lot better than they actually are. He gets out of a lot of crap. He avoids guys. He, steps up, leaks out, gets away from pressure.
He does.
He gets rid of the ball fast when he needs to, but for any of those other times, he saves them a lot of sacks. As much as they block well at times, he saves them a lot of sacks. The difference is the Packers' offensive line was the complete opposite of the Vikings' offensive line, which they were strong in the middle. They were solid in the middle. Center and two guards, they were solid pretty much this whole season, which helps your quarterback a lot because then if a tackle gets beat, he can evade that one outside rusher or something. But you're right. If you get pressure at the middle, I mean, that hurts a lot of guys, even Rodgers a number of times. So,
I got to say something else.
It's almost time for another Tremon break, so finish it up.
Let's do a Tremon break.
All right, Tremon break. Tremon break. Let's go.
Because I'm going to say something that's going to make Bernard mad. So.
Don't make him mad. All right, I want you to watch this play. This is Eli Manning. I think it's a dumb throw, clearly, and the receiver kind of stops. But the play he makes is ridiculous. We don't have.
Where's Tremon? Circle Tremon.
He's right up here on the outside on the upper part of the screen.
Who's on the bottom then?
I don't know. That guy sucks. Whoever that is, I don't know.
Is that Kevin King or Al Harris? And somebody with long hair.
Actually, Tramon got his first NFL start because Al Harris was injured. I
Mhm.
learned that today.
Thank
as
God,
well.
Zell Harris was not as good as everybody says he was.
This is my man Tramon right up here, okay?
All right,
Let's see what he does.
Tremon's the man.
Oh,
Now watch the replay on this.
That was
Watch
a
the
terrible pass.
It was terrible, but the receivers also stopped.
it's a great catch, though.
But the catch he makes is insane. It's insane. All right, he runs into Clay Matthews at the end. But I just wanted to see the replay of the catch. It's like
What is
freaking crazy.
Clay
Watch
Matthews
this.
doing?
Look at him. We have receivers that cannot make that play.
That's
Look
true.
at him. Look at him, dude.
Man, that was a terrible throw, Eli. Wow.
It was a bullet, though. He probably figured, well, if I
Oh,
miss on it, whatever,
so
right?
bad.
All right, 27 is just Matthew Stafford sucking or whatever. This one's so good. Watch this. Okay, this one's important because this was if you recall from 2013, all the Packers fans, not Mo probably wouldn't remember this, but Packers fans from 2013, the Packers had, that was when Aaron Rodgers got his first collarbone injury, which sucked, okay? And then they went down and they played the Cowboys. They had like all these crappy quarterbacks who was Scott Tolzien and Seneca Wallace were the backup quarterbacks that year. And they both stunk. Yeah. And then they got Matt Flynn back. They're like, Matt Flynn, you want to come play quarterback again? He's like, oh yeah, sure. So Matt Flynn comes into this game. And this was also a game where Eddie Lacy had a long touchdown run where he was looking over his shoulder, waiting for somebody to tackle him because he wanted to stop running, but nobody would tackle him. So he had to run the whole 60 yards all the way to the end zone. And then he collapsed once he got across the goal line. But so this was this huge comeback. The Packers came back from like 28 down or 27 down, something like that in the second half. They came back. The score is currently 37-36.
Is that Micah Hyde?
With 124. This is my man, Micah Hyde here. Yep. With
Hyde's
124
good.
left in the game. All right. The Cowboys 2nd and 1. Tramon is right up here. He's on the top. Now watch what he does. And again,
what's that receiver doing?
He came off his guy. And again, this is the study. This is the brains. This is the ability to kind of break off of his thing, know what's going on. Now the Cowboys are trying to get this play over, but watch the play that he makes. Breaks off his guy. The ball's out there. Beasley stopped for whatever reason. And Tramon makes this catch right here.
How does that guy right there say
it.
It's not a catch?
Watch it. Oh, they show it again. See, Tony Romo's still in the league here. He wasn't commentating at this point, and he's trying to get to stop this from happening. But watch this catch. Look at him.
How's that not a catch? Why did
Dude.
Incomplete?
The guy was right there looking at that too.
Look at
The
him.
official's standing right there. Look at the official's right there.
Look at
What's he looking
Tramon.
at?
I don't know.
Incomplete.
He says incomplete. He waves his hands incomplete.
He does. It's bad.
What an idiot.
Crazy.
Tramon is really good. Anyways, back to what I was going to say. That's going
Well,
to make
we can
everybody
do
mad.
some Patrick Peterson highlights. We can do some of those.
Well, this is Tramon's retirement, man. This is celebrating.
Yeah,
an
we're
awesome
celebrating
Packer.
Tramon Williams,
An awesome
and we're
guy.
celebrating.
All right, Ben, what are you going to say? Ben.
I was
Are you
going to
saying
say this. You guys are talking about how that the Packers they have Aaron Rodgers and they just are hoping to get into the playoffs and blah blah flip flop and blah blah floop and they pay Aaron Rodgers and
That's what we've always talked about, Ben.
I know, and that's why they need to change because that doesn't work.
We know that's what you want. So just stop.
That's right, because you can't win when your quarterback is getting paid 20% of the goddamn salary cap. Period. Look at the freaking Seahawks. They get to the playoffs and then they go one and done, or they win one game and then they're out. Look at the Packers. They get to the playoffs and then they play a good defense and their offensive line can't do nothing. And Aaron Rodgers is only one human being. He's not able to freaking magically make them win games. You can't pay quarterbacks that much money. And that's why. Trade him now. Why have him go another year? Trade him now while you can get the big bucks. He's the MVP. It'd be crazy, I know, but you could get like 8 first-round picks or something.
No one has the cap space to take him on right now.
Not this year.
And I don't.
Next year, he's going to the
maybe
Vikings.
next year, but here's the thing, though. Teams that have, like, when you think about when Russell Wilson came into the league, right, and he was great as a rookie, that teams like that have a huge advantage when they have already an established team, and then you have a quarterback on a rookie contract that's affordable, right? Because then you can pay these other guys, and then as soon as he got his contract, their whole defense got blown up, and now they're just super thin everywhere, right? So that's why I think GMs, like we were talking about earlier, are not paying running backs. You got to give and take somewhere, right? So they're trying to find other places where they can cut money. But if you can't win without a quarterback either. I mean, look at the Bears. So it's something.
Yeah, but
you got to pay him something. You can't always have your quarterback on a rookie contract, right? I mean,
that's exactly
the
why the
49ers and the Rams made it to the Super Bowl the last couple of years without a quarterback.
Yep.
So don't tell me you can't win without a quarterback, because you can. If you have a good system with good players, you can do it. They didn't win the ultimate game. Yes.
That's all you say is important. You say you don't care if the team sucks for 10 years as long as they win a Super Bowl once in a while. And you'd be okay with them being 4-12, like for 5 years in a row, as long as every 4 or 5 years they won a Super Bowl. So don't tell me, don't say you can't. You just
I think a team has a better chance. Hey, I think a team has a better chance of winning the Super Bowl with good players all over the field than to have one superstar player and then a bunch of scrubs and maybe one guy who's good, this guy. That's it. I mean, come on.
It's true,
but
but
the
Packers
hasn't happened
also
that much though. I mean, I always think about Trent Dilfer, who's not a good quarterback, right? I mean, still probably even below average. And he won a Super Bowl, but they had a historically amazing defense and like a 2,000-yard rusher. Like, that's kind of hard to find too. Like, you can't really put something like that together that easily. And you think of other quarterbacks that have won the Super Bowl. I mean, there's not many that are like average or below average guys. I mean,
Peyton Manning won a Super Bowl with Denver. He didn't even throw the ball.
That's because they had a suffocating defense and pass rush. They couldn't. They just chewed everybody up. Their defense was so dominant.
The years when Tom Brady had dynamic receivers, they didn't get to the Super Bowl. When he had Randy Moss, they didn't win it. They got there, but they lost.
They were also
the years that he won, he had nobody
up until that point. But
I'm just saying, when they needed to win the game, they didn't win. But when Tom Brady had a bunch of guys that were just like guys, like whatever, like Julian Edelman, and like, who the heck are these other guys? I don't freaking know. They got Gronk, who's a monster. Had a good offensive line. He had really good players on defense. And Brady took, I went through all the salary cap stuff last Friday, Mo. Nobody had more than 13% of the salary cap as a quarterback for any of the Super Bowl winners over the last 10 years. But Rodgers right now is 20% or more of the salary cap. Kirk Cousins, by the way, is 16.5% of the Viking salary cap, just so you know. But anyways, I would rather have a good bunch of guys and a solid quarterback. Not like Andy Dalton, but I mean,
Red Rocket.
Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk Cousins is a top 15 quarterback. I think Derek Carr is a good quarterback.
Top 5 is the problem.
Rick is really sad because the Raiders don't have the offensive lineman anymore. But what are you gonna do, Rick?
Rick loves offensive linemen. We could talk about them for like an hour with Rick.
John Ross or John Brown or whoever that guy is, that really fast guy. Now we got two short, fast guys.
He's super inconsistent.
Wide receiver.
Yeah.
Henry Ruggs and that other guy.
John Brown's super inconsistent as a receiver, and in fantasy, he's one of the most annoying to have. So don't draft him. But anyway, the point with that, Ben, is that Red Rocket is instantly competing for a starting job with the Bears. That's how bad the Bears quarterback situation is. So.
He's quarterback 1. He said so himself.
Oh,
that's my point. Like, if you have to say it, you're probably in the competition.
Plus, he got. He got schooled by McCarthy last year, so now he's probably at the top end of his career after 1 year of Mike McCarthy's quarterback. Remember, Mike McCarthy, quarterback guru. Yes. No, come on. Mike McCarthy inherited. Well, he didn't inherit, but he got Aaron Rodgers right away, and he already had Favre, so he was not a quarterback guru at any point. I don't know any other awesome quarterbacks that Mike McCarthy cranked out during his years in Green Bay. A couple guys they thought were good.
I have to say, before Prescott got hurt, though, he was on quite the track. He was playing really well.
That was McCarthy magic. I told everybody that. Nobody wanted to believe me.
He was a guru.
Okay, I gotta address Bernard. Come on.
All right,
Bernard.
address Bernard. What does
This
he got?
is getting
for
a
you?
little ridiculous, man.
What does he say now? Because
In the chat, he said Rodgers is better than me. He's saying Moe is better than me.
Oh,
Jason's better than me.
well, that's true.
this
He
is all
says
great.
he doesn't like me no more.
Oh,
Skip's better than me. He says Mom is better than me. He says Jordan Love's better than me. He says Favre is better than me.
Oh.
Favre, I'll take. Listen, maybe all the other ones are better than me, but Favre.
Jordan Love, I thought would be worse. No, okay.
No, Jordan Love, he might be good. Come on, Bernard. Come on.
I like
I
it.
know you like me. You know that I'm the entertainment of this show.
Oh, come on. Actually, you know what? I was just listening to
I
some
say
stuff.
crazy stuff.
Yeah, but I get some nice little shots in there. And I don't know if everybody appreciates them, but I certainly do when I go back and listen and kind of do a self-scout, because we always do self-scouts. And I'm like, man, I got some good little digs in there, quickly when Ben doesn't even realize it's happening or what's happening to him.
I don't
And
listen
he's
to you
gone
very
on
much.
his long rantle thing or whatever, and he doesn't listen to me, and he's daydreaming about Aaron Jones and all this stuff. Like, I'll throw these little pot shots in there. I catch them, and it's nice. It's funny. I think it's funny. If you guys don't find it funny, that's a YP right there. That's a YP. All right, because I find it funny. Anyway, Tramon break. Here
I
we
think
go.
you're funny, Jason.
Thanks, Eric. That's nice
You're
of you.
welcome.
That's why you get to come on the show when you're a Viking fan.
That's good.
All right, Tramon Williams had 38 interceptions in his career. This is old man Tramon Williams. I want you to watch how awesome he still was in like his last season with the Packers.
Where is he?
So,
Circle him.
I'll show you in a second. Now, on this play, he's right here. He's right here. This is the one where the ball goes through Adrian Amos's hands, but Tramon is like, that's supposed to be an interception. So, damn it, it's going to be an interception. I'm going to make sure. So, watch the play. Here he goes. This young Kyle Allen or whoever it is. Now, watch the replay, the catch he makes. Just because Tramon knows if the pick was supposed to be made by our defense and someone else isn't going to make it, I'm going to make it. And Kyle Allen's like, what happened? Amos. There it is.
How
Oh,
did he
boy.
not
But
make
Tramon's like, oh, I'll take that. Whoop.
Wow.
He's so good. Look at him.
Just show the Vikings one or the one against the Giants
Here, this one too.
against Daniel Jones. Yeah,
Look
this
at
one. This is the best.
Look at him.
That
He
is so
runs
good.
the
He
route.
ran that route better than the receiver.
And he
Yeah.
catches it. He high points it. Like, I want MVS to do that. But
I know.
why can't we sign this guy and have him play receiver?
Why
What
do
made Tremont so
play
good is
receiver?
his agility, his vision
Look at him.
of being able to track the ball.
God, he's so
That's
good.
great.
He was a really good. Like he almost should have been a receiver. What?
They should have used him, two-way player.
Yeah, like Troy Brown or whatever his name was with the Patriots. Right, that was his
Anyway.
name, Troy Brown. Did he play?
Yeah, or Dion.
Played- He played
Yeah.
wide receiver, and then
Well,
he played.
he did a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But Chucky
Or
Winston
Hester.
early in his years he played receiver for a while. Chucky did. But anyway, look, Tramon Williams retired this week. I don't care if you guys are sick of it or anybody in the chat doesn't care. This is our show, and Tramon's awesome. He's one of my favorite Packers of all time, so we celebrate him tonight. And that's just some awesome plays from one of my favorite Packers who ever wore the green and gold. I wish he could have wore the green and gold every one of his years. And I wish he could have at least gotten back to the Super Bowl when he came back to the Pack. Those things bother me, but
Well, if they would have played him instead of
Fantastic.
Kevin King in the NFC Championship game, he probably would have been the Super Bowl.
don't remind me. Why'd they sign him and then not play him? I don't get it. Eric,
Yeah.
here you go. You're a Vikings owner, right? Partial owner?
No. What? No.
Oh,
but
that's
okay.
right. Sorry.
Only the Packers
I'm
do that.
season ticket holder.
Season
but-
ticket
yeah.
holder. Close
Okay.
enough. That's as close as you can get when you're a
It's-
Vikings guy.
It's true.
Petition your Vikings. Go play to Mike Zimmer's, likes that he likes old cornerbacks and be like,
Yep.
hey, this guy just retired.
Right.
Maybe you want a Peterson on one side, Tramon Williams on the other side. Think about the experience, huh? Experience and
Think about
intelligence.
the lack of speed.
Hey, but they make up for it with this. Just think about what it could be for the Vikings this
He
year.
had Terrence Newman until he was like 40 or something. So I mean, it's totally doable. I could probably sell that.
Write your Vikings contacts.
Yeah, I don't have any, but I'll try. Yeah.
All right, Eric. What are your hopes and dreams for the Vikings the rest of the free agency? Do they have more money to spend, or are they pretty locked up too?
No, they have more. Honestly, I was hoping that Cousins would restructure or something. He's making like $35 million this year or something stupid. So, but I don't think that's going to happen. But they did quite a bit of stuff to free up space. They redid Thielen's contract. They not less money. They just converted it to signing bonus to free up more money this year because everyone's anticipating more cap space next year. So they're just trying to be creative, like a lot of teams are. But I'd still really like him to sign an offensive lineman, and then probably draft like 4 of them would be great. But at least one. I mean, because they lost Riley Reif. He played well actually last year, but his contract was a little hefty, and so they had to let him go. They have a rookie they draft who they played at guard, who's really a left tackle. So I'm assuming they'll move him out, but then you still need 2 guards, and I'd like them to get at least 1 veteran, and then if you're going to start a rookie, then that's fine. They got 1 guy they've been developing too, so maybe he'll be ready, but I still think they need somebody. So if they get a guard going into the draft, I'll be happy because I think they've revamped the defense now. They got, well, even with the guys coming back from injury, they'll have a much better defense this coming year as everyone stays healthy. And the offense actually was top 5. It was a top 5 scoring offense, and I think if you can get better protection, it could be even better. So, so it could be exciting if they can just figure out the offensive line now. That's what I want.
If the Vikings pay attention to all the guards that the Packers had on their team this last year, and if the Packers don't sign some of those guys back, like if for some reason they don't get Lane Taylor back,
Vikings should get Lane Taylor.
Go get him.
Yeah,
or
he's really good, Mo.
Yeah.
Well, they're looking at this Forrest Lamp guy who played for the Chargers. He's first-year starter last year, and he was pretty decent at pass protection, but not so much. I think they like him because he's more of the athletic type because they run the zone scheme. But I think Taylor could do that too. I'd be on board with that. I don't know how much he's asking for, but if they can afford it, I'd just like to get him almost anyone would be an upgrade right now from their guard play last year. It was so horrible, I don't think, especially with pass protection. So I'd take just about anything right now, I think. And the Packers should let all these offensive linemen walk.
Packers know guards, man. They know guards. They don't know tackles, but they know guards.
Well, Bakhtiari is pretty good, but still, I get it. But I think the best thing about the Packers offense besides Rodgers has been their offensive line because they block well in the run. They've given plenty of time to pass, even though you think he runs all over the place, which he does. Their offensive line has been good for a long time. I don't think you guys understand. I think you've been a little spoiled. I'm just going to.
I don't think you watch the tape back, Mo, like I do.
No,
I'm telling you right now, there are some iffy looking blocking going on.
You don't understand
downs.
what iffy looking blocking is like.
Yeah, I do. I watched. No, did you watch the NFC Championship game?
So here's the thing. I'm not questioning. I'm not questioning your ability to judge people's ability. I'm just saying your version of poor blocking and my version of poor blocking and what I'm exposed to on a weekly basis is much, much different. So when your guy has absolutely no chance on a play, I mean, you don't see many plays like that. I'm just saying it's not as bad as you think.
Listen, we have a video called The Billy Turner Problem. It's a segment from one of our shows showing you Billy Turner blocking. Go find it. It's just not as long as it's not like an hour and a half long. It's like 20 minutes.
Okay.
But it'll show you some Billy Turner blocking, and then you tell me who's better, Billy Turner. Well, maybe your Vikings offensive line are bad too, but I'm just saying Billy Turner is terrible.
Well, that's easy to fix one guy, but when you have to plug holes across the whole thing, that's a little.
Well, I know that's what happened to us when we lost Bakhtiari, and then they had to put Billy Turner at left tackle. Guess what? How that worked?
Left tackle is a tough spot to play. It's tough.
It is rough, but come on.
I know that.
I'm just saying. It's
the thing is, Eric, we've talked about this before too. The Packers offensive line are the beneficiaries of 2 things. Aaron Rodgers helps them out a lot, and also Aaron Jones helps them out a lot. Because Aaron Jones, the blocking can hold up for like 1 second, and he makes a quick decision, finds a little crease, and before they can let their block go, he's already passed the guys in front of him, and he's through the hole.
Or like Bakhtiari, he doesn't let his block go. So.
Right. Bakhtiari will hold on to him, and Lucas Patrick blocks everybody till the whistle. But the other three guys are kind of
Hey,
like,
you gotta
hey,
give me the
one
share.
yeah, 1 second. I'm going to show. I did allow you to share, but I do have to show Mo, because he probably didn't see it. So I got to show him this right here if I can. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, hang on 1 second. All right, Mo. I'm going to show you just to give you a point of reference. I did show this recently, but it's worth showing again. Billy Turner's best play of the Packers season. I'm going to show you right here. Now, Billy Turner.
His best play, okay.
This is his best play of the playoffs for sure. Billy Turner is playing left tackle here, which is a very scary situation to begin with.
Yeah, that's not good.
But my man Lucas Patrick right here is playing right guard, and he finds a way to make Billy Turner useful. I'm going to play this again because Lucas Patrick is my favorite guy, and this shows you how Billy Turner can be used on your offensive line to be effective, but not. It's at his own detriment. So here we go. Billy Turner, Lucas Patrick. The Rams run a stunt here too. This guy runs this way, and Lucas Patrick handles it masterfully.
Turner looks really small. He looks tiny.
He's skinny for an offensive lineman.
Now, I just want you to enjoy that one more time. Lucas Patrick. Watch him right here. Watch Billy Turner. Okay, he's going back. Look at him. Oh, I'm not going to block that guy. Certainly not going to block this guy. Then I'll just make myself useful by at least allowing Lucas Patrick to bury his guy by using my body.
And you know,
that's
you
Billy
saw
Turner's best play.
Who caught that pass right there, Mo? Robert Tonyan. You want to guess how many drops Robert Tonyan had last year?
I'll say 0.
He had one, I think.
Yeah, 0.
It's good.
And not 11 touchdowns. How many touchdowns did he? Yeah, 11 touchdowns. Did he?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yep.
11 touchdowns, 0 drops. That's way better than Devonte Adams.
Well, Devonte Adams did have 18 touchdowns, Ben. I mean,
pretty good.
Look, we talked about Devonte Adams. Eric,
no.
the big thing with Devonte Adams is that he he's not a huge difference maker.
Well, you got to play that run.
No, it's so good. He should have waved to the Vikings too.
He did. But he started to, but he didn't want to get a fine.
That's true.
Watch Bakhtiari hold on this play right here.
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. Look at this.
Right there.
Look at that.
little tug.
Terrible hold.
Just a little tug.
Everson Griffin's like trying to reach with him with one arm he has left.
It's just a little tug. That happens every play, Eric. Come on.
No, it does not. No, it does not.
God.
I hate it when people say that, like, "Oh, holding happens every play." Like, no, it doesn't. Not by rule, it does not happen.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Yes, but when you grab someone like that at the point of attack, that's literally the definition of the rule. At the point of attack, and you impede someone's progress, that's holding. That does not happen every play. Is there tugging? Sure, but that doesn't mean it's holding. So,
well, when I played football, it did happen every play that I was on the field.
well, okay, what to you?
No, from me. I was the person doing it.
Well, you play defensive end.
I played two ways. It was a small school, dude.
Okay.
High school football, small school. I had to play tight end, block guys bigger than me. So, I need that little advantage.
If it wasn't at the point of attack, it's not a hold.
I was always at the point of attack. I was lead blocker on every play, Eric.
Well, that's a bad
Mo,
coaching decision.
Do you think Sedarius Smith is really good?
He's pretty good.
Nope. You're remembering 2019 late season game against the Vikings.
I want you to watch this play, Mo.
All of 2019, he was good.
Three shows in a row now. I'm going to show this play.
Okay. Why?
Watch this 23 running back right here.
Okay.
Watch what he does. He's a 192-pound running back.
Okay.
5'7".
It's pretty.
Sedarius Smith
pretty
is 275 pounds. Let's watch this.
He's 275, really?
Yep.
No.
Yes, he is. Sedarius is 275.
Wow.
6'4", 275.
He should play that tape back just for motivation.
He should give back about $17 million is what he should do after that.
He's still a good player.
He is a good player 25% of the time. 25% of the time, Eric.
my other least favorite play in a second. And a lot of people who watch this show have seen this before. I don't care. Mo hasn't because he doesn't watch our show because he's a jerk. Watch this. Look at this. Slow mo. Look at that. What are you doing?
You got stiff arm to the face.
Good God. Yes.
Well, because he's too high.
A little tiny guy.
If he wants to go after a guy like that off a spin after peeling off the block, that's one of the few times he got off a block on the running game.
Yeah, no kidding.
In this whole season. So I give him credit for that. But then he's got to go low with that guy. He doesn't go high.
Well, he's so tiny. How do you get that low?
You can go low. You go with the guy's legs.
Do you guys think that you're maybe being a little hard on Z because
dude,
he had such a
go back and watch last week's show.
He had an incredible 2019. Yes,
he did. He played very well in 2019.
I don't know if it was incredible. I don't know. I gotta watch.
He led the league in pressures.
He played very well in 2019, thanks to the fact that he went against the crappy Vikings offensive line twice in one season, the terrible Bears offensive line, Atlanta's crappy offensive line. He went against a lot of crappy offensive lines there, which helped him out.
Is the bar maybe obviously took a step back, but does it still mean he's terrible?
It is a big step, and he is the third highest paid outside rusher in the whole league.
Well, not anymore because he took the pay cut.
He was in all of last year where he underperformed. And I can go back and look at the statistics again, or you can watch that part of our show from last week where it tells you about his pressures per game, which were significantly down, and his QB hits, which were significantly down as well. And he did this thing where he went and rushed against guards a bunch of plays and didn't have to go against the good pass blocking tackles. And that's how he got most of his sacks. We showed that too.
No, that's so good.
In this play, he gets blocked by Robert Woods.
You know Robert Woods, Eric, right?
Receiver, yeah.
He's a wide receiver. He's up here on top.
Right there.
Oh, that's
the slot there.
It's a good block.
He's about 190, 198. Zadarius 275.
Look at that.
He's still getting blocked by him.
That's good.
And look at his body. He doesn't even freaking try.
That's
that guy. That guy is your highest paid defensive player. This guy right here.
Captain, defensive captain, leader of your defense.
Blocked by a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen him bull rush guards. I've seen him bull rush 300-pound guards.
Watch the resistance here. Look at this. He sees the ball carrier. Where's the resistance? That little guy is going to do that to you?
That's just a thing where, like, here, I'll hold you, you hold me. That's a wide receiver corner thing that they do sometimes. Where they're like, I don't really want to get in the play. I'll pretend like I'm blocking you. You pretend like you're trying to get in the play, and then we'll get in trouble.
Yeah.
You got to give Mo
that works when you're a corner against a wide receiver.
Sorry,
but it doesn't work when you're an outside linebacker who only freaking rushes the quarterback, and you get blocked by a freaking 198-pound wide receiver like that.
Well, that's help the run defense, that's for sure. You guys going to get Blake Martinez back? I think he led his team in tackles again last year.
No, they're stupid. They won't sign him back.
I guess would love it, but we won't get him back.
Martinez is a good player.
We have a couple of inside linebackers, one who doesn't play enough. That could be awesome. Ty Summers.
We got to show all about him too.
And Chris Barnes is solid. He's not as dynamic as Summers, but he's solid.
So what was it? Keekly, that experiment's just done, right? Or his name was Kirksey, the K guy.
Yeah, he's gone already.
Yeah.
He's gone already.
He's with the Houston Texans.
So they don't really have a starting linebacker there.
Right? Yeah, they do. Ty Summers, he's good.
Is he going to be?
If they're smart. No, they probably won't play him.
Watch
this, Mo.
Linebacker?
He's good. Watch this, Mo. The greatest play in the history of Aaron Jones. Then I'll be done. I won't show more videos. Watch this. Hang on, right here.
Whoop.
See ya. Oh my God, is he good?
They signed him for so cheap too.
So good.
More people should be happy.
Now this time,
still there.
Watch Dave Bakhtiari not block anybody, but he gets all the credit because he runs all the way down. Watch him. He runs all the way downfield.
He kind of blocks a couple guys there.
Okay, watch this. There he goes. He's trying to catch these guys. And then he's like, oh. And then he's like, wait. Hey. And after the game, all Packer fans talked about was, did you see Dave Bakhtiari running downfield? He got to the end zone before Aaron Jones did. He was going so fast. Really? Come on, people. Come on. All right. I show those videos every week now, but I don't care because I like Aaron Jones.
They love watching Bakhtiari get cardio. That's the whole thing.
Oh,
just impressive seeing the big man run. All right. This show, fine. It's still about Tramon. There's one more I got to show you here before we go. This is from early in his career, his third pick of his entire career. I think it was his first season starting.
Whoa.
And I want you to watch him here.
Yeah, blow
Let's
that
set
up.
it up. The man Tramon's right down here. Now, he gets fooled on the play. It's play action, but I want you to watch what he does and the play that he makes. Matt Ryan should be open, right?
Wow.
Guy was open, right?
He looked
Watch him.
open.
Look how bad he's beat. Look how bad he's beat. And look what he does.
Bad.
Give it to me. Give it to me. I'm Tramon Williams.
You know-
Underthrown. Horribly underthrown.
Understandably,
It was, but
yes.
look at him go
but
back.
It's not just the underthrownness or whatever. It's the effort.
Sure.
It's
he
the
didn't give up.
it's Tremont. I mean, we just watched a play where Zadarius Smith gave zero effort
Right.
on a running play where the running back ran right past him. Here's a play where Tremont let the guy go, realized it, sprinted 25 yards, and picked it off. One guy is undrafted in his rookie year. The other guy is in the second year of his big contract. What does that tell you? That's the reason why I get mad about Zadarius Smith. I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's a good player. But when you make that much money, I expect more from you
Sure.
on every play.
Yeah.
That's all I just want you to have the effort that equals your dollar payment. Okay. And if you're the highest paid defensive player on the team, you need to have the highest effort on all plays. You're the leader pretty much on that team.
You can't get blocked by a wide receiver. That's
If you're like Aaron Rodgers don't slack off on plays. So I mean he's the highest paid offensive player. It's just something you can't do that. You just can't
Eric,
do that.
you understand too, Eric. These guys watch film together. They watch all the plays. They see when guys aren't doing what they're supposed to do or slacking off or getting blocked by a wide receiver or whatever. And all the other guys on the defense, all the other coaches know, all the other players know what the guy was supposed to do. And then they can see you not putting in effort. That speaks to those guys. And we saw some of that later in the season when Ben pointed out Zadarius got a sack a couple times. He wanted to celebrate with guys, whatever. And the guys were like, whatever. And their body language was like, great, you get another one of your sacks where you didn't do anything the whole game, and now you got a sack, so you're the big star again. And you get all the money, and you get the Pro Bowl, and you get whatever. So anyway, again, if you're a defensive captain, you're third highest paid in the league or top 10 paid in the league, whatever, then we got to see consistent effort out of you. I don't care if you get the sack totals. If you still get 12 sacks, but you're busting your butt every play, I'm good. But if you get 12 and a half sacks and I can visibly see watching game tape because I watched the defensive and offensive line that half the time you're kind of just giving up. As soon as the guy engages with you, you stop your momentum and you don't even try anymore. I'm not good with that.
Sure. No, it makes sense. It's interesting because obviously I remember quite a few Vikings. I was watching a tape with the Viking Packer games in 2019, and Cook actually said to the coaches, like, "Hey, we need to start running away from Zadarius Smith because he's killing us. Like, we can't get the run game going, So he's obviously very capable, and we know that obviously a disruptive player, but not when he takes plays off on the running game. I mean, that's pretty bad. The one against the wide receiver is pretty telling just by itself. Just not only effort, but I mean, you got 100 pounds in the guy. There's no way that guy should be blocking you at all, much less sustaining a block, right? So, yeah, hard to disagree. I hope he plays the same way.
You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of the time when we were playing pickup basketball.
Oh no!
Oh no! It's that point of the show. Sorry.
And I went up and I didn't even jump. I just put my hand up. And I blocked Jeremiah Junkers, who was 6'5", 350 pounds.
Junkers.
And he just shot the ball right in my hand. I didn't even do anything. It was almost like I was Zadarius, but I wasn't.
No,
I was more like Robert Woods.
Your example of Zadarius is when you don't even come down the court on offense. So you feel like that's okay. You say that's okay. I'm going to stay back on defense because I'm too tired to go down and help on offense. So I'm just going to stay back here until you guys miss and I'll be ready. That's
Yeah, but most people do the opposite. They cherry pick and don't play defense. I would at least play defense.
Right. It's definitely the better option of being
Okay.
lazy on basketball court.
Plus, I know my limitations. I'm like, let's see, am I better help as the defensive player or an offensive player? Probably a defensive player. So I knew where I could head to.
I don't know. I always liked your hook shot, but it's always nice. That means we're, why am I double teamed? Oh, Ben's back, the free throw line, the other side of the court. His guys doesn't have to guard him, so he's just everywhere else. But yeah, that's Ben's impression of Za'Darius right there.
Hey, that didn't happen all the time.
That's true. Ben wanted to get out there.
Playing half court games. It didn't happen.
He liked to set picks on guys.
Yeah,
some hard picks too. There's some moving screens for sure by Ben.
Yep.
Oh yeah. It was almost like Night at the Roxbury for me. I was just like,
okay.
It's a really old movie reference, but that's all right. It still landed, I think.
We're old. We're old.
Hey, Double Doink likes your sign of Delvin Tomlinson. I just read that in the comments. He said that was a sneaky good pick. Sign up by the
I'm telling you, the Vikings are rebuilding for not for this year, but for next year. Next year when they get Rodgers in the fold, they're gonna win a Super Bowl, dude.
I don't see how they're gonna get Rodgers next year because
the Packers are gonna part ways.
Cousins is still in the books though, and his contract's guaranteed. Yeah.
Oh, I thought
Rodgers will be a 49er.
I thought he was done after 1 year.
No, through 2022.
Dang it.
Yep.
All right, my plan just
might be 1 year off. Might be 1 year
Jimmy
off.
Jimmy Garoppolo's contract is over after this year. The Packers are going all in with all their guys, restructuring and putting everything over the next season. so they can cut Preston and Za'Darius, and all those guys are getting cut next season. This is the year they're going for it all, try to win a Super Bowl. And then Aaron Rodgers will be traded to the 49ers, and then he'll win like 2 Super Bowls with the 49ers.
What if he wins one with the 49ers and then leaves them and then wins one with the Vikings just to piss the Packers off?
I like that idea.
Oh, that might happen too.
And then he shows wait, Aaron Rodgers was on the Packers for 16 years. He won 1 Super Bowl. He goes to a different team. He's on it 1 year. He wins a Super Bowl. Then he goes to another different team. He's on 1 year and he wins another Super Bowl. Was Aaron Rodgers the problem?
Then I will admit that Aaron Rodgers is the greatest quarterback ever. I will admit that then. I will then admit, as Bernard likes to say, that Aaron Rodgers is greater than Ben. But until Rodgers does that, he is not greater than me. No. Greater at football, greater at Jeopardy, greater at dating Hollywood starlets and engaging them, but not greater at singing.
He never claimed he was greater at singing.
Playing guitar.
You don't know what kind of drawer he is.
Playing nerd games. No, I'm better at all that stuff than him.
He likes nerd stuff. You know that. He likes Star Wars.
But he didn't even watch The Mandalorian. What kind of Star Wars fan are you if you don't even watch The Mandalorian?
That's a very good point.
I didn't watch The Mandalorian. And I like Star Wars.
Star Wars fan.
Because you don't have Disney Plus, or
I do have Disney Plus, but I don't have time for Mandalorian. I gotta do Hafeman Bros show every Friday night.
You gotta make time.
Did you watch WandaVision?
I did watch WandaVision because Evan, my son, wanted to watch it. So I watched WandaVision. Yes.
Mo, did you watch WandaVision?
I haven't yet. Is it good?
It's very good. It's intriguing.
There's only one part that sucks in it.
Okay.
I don't want to ruin it.
That's not too bad.
Mo, did you watch Falcon and Winter Soldier today?
No. Should I have?
It was okay. It was pretty good.
Okay.
Oh, is that out today?
Yeah, the Winter Soldier stuff was pretty cool. I like that background. Interesting, but
Falcon stuff,
I don't really care. I mean, his family, they go into his family, like his sister, and I'm just like, But it was okay. It was an okay show. It had a really cool opening. The Falcon, that was the best opening I've ever seen for the Falcon. Like Falcon, they made him look freaking cooler and crap, that opening. It's good, like 10 minutes of just cool, awesome stuff. Like awesome stuff.
Sweet.
Like, legit awesome. Mo, are you an X-Men guy? Not really.
I mean, I like them. They're fine. It's fine.
We're finally getting
better than some of all that Marvel stuff. It's kind of a little too much to me.
Well, I mean, I don't know what it's like because I don't remember if you're a sporty nerd, so I didn't know if you were a major nerd. If you were a nerd until you met me and then you became a nerd, like you were a sports. I mean, you played basketball and stuff.
I definitely became nerdier after I met you, so I may have swayed more towards the nerdier side. And I lost.
That's the thing.
Plus, I lost athletic ability too just by knowing you. So I don't know.
how does my lack of athletic ability affect your athletic ability? That makes no sense.
I guess
I can't rub off on you. I'm not a disease. I'm not the coronavirus. I don't take away your ability.
I don't know. I think you play down sometimes to the people that I don't know.
You are affected by the people you hang around with, though.
Is that why when it was me and Jason against you and Nico and we kicked your butt?
You did. Oh my gosh.
Did we really? I don't remember that.
I don't know how we lost that too. Yeah, you're right. No, I remember. I don't know.
Oh, that's because I was super effort guy.
And I don't know.
I had a lot of effort. See, and that's what I want from Zadarius Smith is freaking all the effort all the time, and then I'd be cool with him.
All of Nico's like la-di-da shots that weren't going in like they normally do when I guard him. So I don't know what happened there. And then Ben, I don't think Ben missed a hook shot all game. He like nailing these hook shots on me.
That's because I had you covered me. You can't cover me.
Plus, you guys were lazy, and I was giving a lot of effort.
I was really lazy. It's right. It's true.
That's because you were covering me. You were like, you just said I bring my play down for my competition.
Well, I figured, I won't have to do much. I'm covering Ben.
Yeah, you were wrong, buddy. You were wrong.
I was.
That was like how long ago was that? Like 6 years ago?
Too
man,
long
we
ago.
got to get together, man. This
it was longer than that.
We talked about this last time. It's got to be this draft.
Yeah, we haven't talked since the last time you were on. So what does that mean?
Well, actually, last time was when I was watching the show and commenting in the comments.
That was awesome, by the way.
That was awesome that you were showing up.
Do that more often. Jump in there.
I took a dump, and I was like, whoa.
What?
Mo, did you see my incredible joke from last week?
I didn't.
Oh,
sorry.
Yep.
Was it incredible?
Should I play it again? I'll play it again.
Incredible for Ben or just incredible?
All right, this is the end of the show then. End of the show.
I still have it? Yeah, I still have it.
I
know everybody saw it last week. It's a great joke.
I got to produce all the radio shows tomorrow too. I got a new job, Eric. I'm a radio show producer and announcer, and I host a show.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm a professional.
And he still does his other job.
I get money because I get paid.
That's congratulations. That's exciting.
Yeah. So I'm a pro again.
That's good.
It's the money part makes you a pro, not how good you are.
That's true. Well, technically true. Right.
That's why we are all pro broadcasters, the three of us.
You've always been a pro for me, Jason, in my book.
Thanks,
Eric. You're legit, Jace.
I was on point last week. I got to say that my interviews were top notch, mostly because I didn't talk that much.
That's it. It's usually the best.
I was very concise, asked good questions. Usually Ben criticizes my questions, but I'd say last week's show, he probably couldn't criticize too many of those.
And then you listen to the person you're interviewing instead of just thinking about the next question. That's the key.
That's right.
I never listen to anybody.
Well, I know that.
That's why I don't plan questions anymore. I don't script them. I don't think about them in advance.
That's good. That's perfect.
I just listen and react.
That's impressive.
Kind of like Tramon Williams. He reacts.
Mo, I don't know if I ever asked you this joke or told you this joke or not.
Good joke.
We'll see if you remember. Is Bruce in there? Bruce said he's going to tell his coworkers on Monday.
I remember hearing something.
I didn't see Bruce today.
It was something with Alf and a funny joke for Ben. I remember seeing something like that, but I didn't see the whole thing.
This is a good still, by the way. This is funny enough right here.
It's kind of weird.
Joke or two. No jokes, Alf. Here's one. What's the difference between a shower curtain and toilet paper? So you're the one.
Oh my gosh, come on. What?
You don't get it, do you?
I get it. It's just not.
You don't get it.
Yeah, he used the shower curtain as toilet paper. Said he's the one who did it because you can't tell.
Right.
I understand it, Ben. I understand it. It's just not that funny.
It is funny. I didn't get it.
It's a little funny. It's a little.
I didn't get it till last week.
It's hilarious. You know why it's hilarious, Mo? Because probably 40% of people don't get it, and then you make fun of them after they don't get it and laugh at them.
Okay, that's fair.
So it's mean funny, just like me.
I think you would probably use an entire shower curtain with a toilet paper.
I did knock over a entire shower curtain when I puked onto the bathroom one time.
But you told me you said you wiped your butt like 8 times. Okay,
we can still talk.
We got a picture of it. Nico's got a picture of it. It was the bathroom that Nico and I shared in our apartment.
Oh boy.
And it was really bad. And Nico made me clean it up. And he should, because I was
my fault. Yeah, you should clean it up. That's good.
Unlike the time when I puked at Matt Smith's house and we made Stiggy do it. Everybody convinced Stiggy that he was the one who did it because he didn't know that I did it.
So
bad. I just kept my mouth shut.
I can't believe you. You just lost so much of my respect for doing that to somebody.
Well, yeah, everyone has their regrets.
Hey, look, I'm wearing my wedding ring today for the first time in like 4 months.
Nice. Good job. Are you married to Aaron Jones yet?
You should
Nope.
be.
I'm married to Jesse.
All right. Well, we know you love Aaron Jones more. All right.
Oh, what?
See you guys later.
Bye,
That is
guys.
not true.
That's it. I'm tweeting Showtime _33 and going to let him know that you love your wife more than him and see what he says about that.
Okay, that's fine. That's true.
I don't know that he's going to like it. He wants somebody to love him more than anybody else in their life.
He's got his lady friend and his baby
All right. Okay.
and his family.
But what is he going to do when he doesn't have champion Ben?
He's always got me.
Okay. All right. Just like I always love you, Micah. I'll never forget you, buddy.
Yep,
Our
their one-day relationship
goes
that he forgot about 2 minutes after he left the work
lives in
site.
me. It lives in me. I'll tell you what. I'm going to do my damnedest to do one of three things. On this show next year, we're going to bring some cool stuff in. We're going to do some new segments, some actual segments after every game. During Viking games, we'll have specials with Viking Moe if he's up for it.
Yes,
If
Viking
the Vikings
Moe.
don't get crushed too bad,
I'm
and he's
up for
okay
it.
coming on.
Yeah.
And then we're also going to do my goal is to get either Lucas Patrick, Aaron Jones, or Micah Hyde on our show somehow.
Well, that ain't gonna happen.
I'm going to try my best. I'm going to pull all the strings I can. I'm going to put myself out there, endanger myself on the internet to try to get attention so I can get those guys' attention. One of them to come on this show and tell them, look, we're like your biggest fans. Would you just come on our show and grace us with your presence, please?
Lucas
Please.
Patrick, you might get.
Oh, God. Who else talks about Lucas Patrick as much as me?
Nobody.
Probably not even his own mom. So come on this show. I love Lucas Patrick. He's awesome. All right. Thanks, Mo. You're awesome
Yeah.
too.
Oh, thanks, guys.
We hope the Vikings
best.
make good choices this offseason.
Yep.
You do?
Yeah. I want it to be competitive. You're not going to
Okay.
beat the Packers anyway, but you want to be competitive. Like, you
They-
got to have at
They
least
split
somebody
last
in
year.
there.
They split games last year.
I know, but I mean, challenge them for the division. Okay,
okay.
how's that? I mean,
All
you
right.
might win, one of the two games,
Sure.
but I don't
As
want
long
to
as the Lions and Bears still stay
Yeah.
as crappy as they are, you can
There's-
at least have one team that's
Right.
good.
I think
It's back.
I think they'll be better this year. I mean, it's hard to say, of course, but I think, even years, you look back at it, even years, Mike Zimmer is good in even numbered years, and the odd number years, they're terrible. So we'll see what happens.
got that going for you. All right.
Wait, I got that the other way around. It's the odd number years he's good. The even numbers that he's bad.
Okay. Well, that's better than it's 2021 coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's better, Mo.
Yeah.
All right. Tell your Vikings to reach out and see if they can talk Tramon Williams to come out of retirement.
Yes, it's a great idea. I'll do that.
All right. Thanks, Mo. You're awesome. Ben, you're fine too. Aaron Jones,
All right.
Ben still loves you. He still loves you.